Hello and welcome. My name is Professor Jason Oberfelt, and I'm here to tell you about the Department of Linguistics at Oakland University. So I thought it would be a good idea to just start with the question of what linguistics is. Linguistics is the scientific study of natural human languages. So given any of the 7,000 languages that you can observe in the world today, linguists ask questions like, what governs the structure of natural languages? What can a natural human language look like? And what can't it look like? What are those properties that we just never observe in natural human languages? Linguists are also interested in asking how people acquire and comprehend language. So if we think a little bit about what we're doing as we use language, then right now I'm using my vocal folds and I'm using my mouth to create very specific changes in the air pressure in this room. Those are being currently picked up by my microphone, sent over the internet to your speakers, where they are being played and creating changes in the air pressure in the room that you're in. Those changes in air pressure are being picked up by your ears and being decoded then into a message that you have never heard before. So it's kind of a deceptively complex mode of communication that we can engage in. And moreover, children basically have this mode of communication mastered by the time they're 5. So what allows them to do this so quickly and so effortlessly? Linguists are also interested in how language is used in social situations and in social interaction. So how do we use language to set up power dynamics or to tear down power dynamics? What is it that makes a certain kind of request a polite one, but another one a rude one? So basically just how do people use language with each other? Linguists are also interested in asking how languages change over time. So languages are not static entities. They always are undergoing change. So linguists are asking what kind of changes they undergo and what is a driving force for that, for instance. So as we look at these questions, one of the things that might be kind of obvious is how much linguistics intersects with many different types of fields. As we'll see later, this has impacts for different career trajectories that you have for studying linguistics, but it opens up a lot of opportunities to mix and match, for instance. So I thought it would also be worth giving a little bit of an example with respect to what kinds of questions linguists ask. So when we talk about, what are the structure of human languages, then what we're really talking about are what is the knowledge that people have about how their language works. And this is how we look for, what languages can look like and what languages can never look like. Now, the cool part about this knowledge, though, is that it is, for the most part, implicit. The knowledge we have about how our language is structured and how it works is really beyond our consciousness. So here's a really fun example. It's English expletive infixation, and this is referring to the fact that in English you can take a word like fantastic and you can take an expletive like flippin' and literally just drop it right down in the middle of the word. So we know that we can say fan flippintastic. Now, it turns out that this is actually a rule-governed process. There is some knowledge that we have that we didn't know that we have that tells us how this works. Because even though we've never heard this word before, we still implicitly know. We have the intuition that you can't do it like this. You can't say fantaflippin' stick. The intuition that hopefully you have is that that's just not how this process works. It has to be fan-flippintastic, and you can't say fantaflippin' Again, where did this knowledge come from? Nobody ever taught it to you. You couldn't have memorized it. You just have this implicit knowledge about what is and isn't possible in English. Turns out that this knowledge is very general, so that you know that you can say obliflippingation, but not off-flippin'-bligation. And you know that you can say calamaflippin' but not califlippin' You just have this implicit knowledge about what makes expletive insertion work, what makes it doesn't. So what does that knowledge look like? Where does it come from? And again, how do children figure it out, even though nobody's teaching this stuff to them? So if that's not already a good enough reason to study linguistics, linguistics courses will also help you develop various transferable skills for setting out on a career trajectory. So we literally teach you how to think and how to evaluate ideas. We provide you with critical thinking skills for evaluating hypotheses, evaluating ideas about how language works. Part of this is giving you skills in logic and actual argumentation. So how do you effectively present ideas and choose between them? And we focus on doing this both in written and spoken applications. So writing term papers and then also doing presentations. How can you exercise these skills in both of these media? Part of doing linguistics is also problem solving, so taking large amounts of data, just like on the previous slide, we had all of these English facts. How can you sift through large amounts of data, pull out interesting observations, and then moreover formalize them, account for them, provide some explanation for why the data looks the way it does? This is a huge skill of linguistics, and oftentimes we do that with technological resources. So there's a lot of software that linguists use to look at speech or to do quantitative studies over their data sets. And then also, you don't do linguistics in a bubble. Oftentimes you work as a team or as a group to solve problems and to evaluate hypotheses. So along the way, you'll necessarily pick up leadership skills, teamwork skills, and then because we're working with up to 7,000 languages that exist in the world, you'll definitely acquire an appreciation for the diversity of language, the diversity of culture, and then appreciation for inclusion as well. A degree in linguistics is going to provide you with those skills on the previous slide. They're going to be transferable to many, many different career paths. So you can, for instance, take your linguistics degree and move forward into a career in speech-language pathology. Our department offers a 3-course certificate in teaching English as a second language, which would basically be your ticket to travel the world teaching English. Many linguists go on to get master's degrees or professional degrees that allow them to work for Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and Apple doing computational linguistics. Linguists famously crush the LSAT, so oftentimes will go on to be a language consultant in law. Maybe they'll do marketing. Linguists might go on to work for Duolingo, and then even you have to mention being an accent consultant and doing video game localization, make sure the translations work. Those are things that linguists go on to do as well. So it's worth pointing out then that our department is going to be offering a minor in speech-language pathology. This is expected to launch in fall 2021. There's a 6-course sequence that will give you all the background in that to then go on and pursue that degree as mentioned earlier. So our department in particular will also offer many different opportunities for connecting with the professors and peers. We do have meet and greets at the beginning of each semester. You can check our webpage for this. We have conversation outreach opportunities. There are research groups in the department. Professors are always offering career and academic service or academic success support. And then finally, we do have a linguistics club and a teaching English as a second language organization. You're very much encouraged to go to our website where you can learn more about what we do. You can contact anyone in the department and we'll be happy to get back to you. So thank you very much for your time and take care.